Hello, this tutorial will show how to keep track of cash in Fund Manager. Cash is tracked just like any other investment, except the price is kept fixed at 1. All transactions are recorded at a price of 1 where the shares are equal to the value. The closing prices are all kept at 1. For example, if we go into TD Ameritrade sub-portfolio, we have one stock and we have our cash investment. If I wanted to record a deposit into cash, I would record a buy. So we'll go into our cash investment and we'll record a new buy transaction. If we wanted to deposit $10,000, we would record a purchase of $10,000 and 10,000 shares at a price of 1. Likewise, if we wanted to withdraw cash, we would just record a sell transaction, again with a price at 1 and the shares equal to however many dollars we removed with our withdrawal. If you want to record interest in cash, that's a distribution, and it's a reinvested distribution of type interest income. If you earned 50 cents of interest, you just record a value of 50 cents, half a share, and again, as always, the price is 1. In Fund Manager, you can assign your cash investment to be the default cash account for a sub-portfolio. For example, if we go to the properties of the TD Ameritrade sub-portfolio, you can see that we've assigned cash, TD Ameritrade, as our default cash account. When you have a default cash account assigned, any money used or generated in that sub-portfolio will automatically be added or removed from this default cash account. For example, if we bought Intel, the cash used for the purchase would be removed from cash. So let's record a hypothetical purchase of Intel. For $5,000. So you'll see right now the value of Intel is 0, and we have 10,050 cents in cash. As soon as we record this, our cash is going to decrease by this $5,000 that we're using to buy Intel. And if you go look at the cash investment, you can see here is the automatically recorded default cash account entry where we bought 160 shares of Intel and we spent $5,000 on that purchase of Intel, so it redeemed 5,000 shares of cash to pay for it. Likewise, if you record a sell in a sub-portfolio with an assigned default cash account, those proceeds will be automatically deposited into your cash account. Or if you receive some dividends in investments, those proceeds will automatically be deposited into your cash account. So for example, let's record a dividend for Intel. And we'll just make it an even $100. And it's not reinvested, so it's a distributed dividend, so it's going to be deposited into our cash account. So right now the cash is $5,050, and after that dividend it's now $5,150. And if we go look at the cash transactions, you can see there's the $100 purchase from the dividend distributed from Intel. Cash investments should be set up so they don't retrieve prices, as their closing price should always remain at 1. This is the default setting for new cash investments, but you can check this property by going to the Investment Properties dialog box for your cash investment and going to the Internet Retrieve tab and make sure that Retrieve Price is turned off. You can also verify all the closing prices recorded for your cash investment by opening it up in the data register and setting the data type to prices. This shows all your closing prices for the cash account, and they should all be exactly 1. If you need to add a cash investment after already setting up an account, you can add a cash investment and have Fund Manager automatically record all the corresponding cash account entries. For example, if we take a look at this Scottrade sub-portfolio, it currently has an IBM investment with some shares, but there's no cash account. If we take a look at the IBM transactions, we see that we've purchased it back in January and we've also received a dividend. To add a cash investment to this account, you just go to the New Investment dialog box, assign it a name. You can enter really any symbol that you want since we're not going to be retrieving prices for it. And we're going to leave it set at the investment type of cash. And we'll just start it off at a price of 1 and 0 shares. You can set these options if you'd like. And say OK. And save that. So now we have a cash investment at a price of 1, but no shares in it currently. The next step is to assign this new cash investment as the default cash account for this Scottrade sub-portfolio. So we go to the properties of this sub-portfolio, and you can see that we currently do not have a default cash account assigned, but we could select it from this drop-down. This Show All button allows you to pick a default cash account from a different sub-portfolio. Generally, this is not used, but if you wanted to, you could see all investments from all sub-portfolios and pick an investment from a different sub-portfolio as your default cash account. But that's generally not needed or recommended. So in this case, we'll just pick our cash Scottrade investment that we just set up as our default cash account. And now we're going to go back and have Fund Manager automatically retroactively record our default cash account entries for us. To do that, you go to the File, File Operations, and say Recreate Default Cash Transactions. Pick the sub-portfolio that we want to operate on, and you can specify a date range if you want to narrow it down, but we'll just accept the defaults of all dates. These options here allow you to remove any transactions that are already in your cash account before you proceed. Since our cash account is empty right now, it really doesn't matter. We'll just go ahead and check all these. We'll say OK. And you can see that it didn't delete any existing transactions, but it did add 2 new default cash account transactions. So we'll say OK, and we'll go take a look. If you look in the data register for this investment, you can see here it recorded a withdrawal for the cash that we used to buy IBM, and here it recorded a purchase for the cash that was generated from the dividend that IBM paid. And you can see currently we have a negative market value. It's because we never have deposited any cash into here. We just use cash. So if we wanted to fix that, we would record whatever we started off with for cash. So we'll record a buy for $50,000, 50,000 shares, and a price of 1. So now we recorded that we started off with an initial deposit of $50,000. We bought some IBM. We received a dividend from IBM, and our ending market value is around $37,000. That concludes the tutorial on using cash. Thanks for watching.